Hello everybody. In this video, we will proceed to finish our application or trivia app. But before we do it, I would like to do some common refactoring. So to clean up a little bit our application.view. So I will move this element away and I will create inside my components. I will create my, how can we call this? Score, main score. Here will be a template. Put it there. And then we do the style. Here, there you go. I don't know what's happening with my keyboard. I really need to verify and fix this computer. Copy. There you go. And we will move the score thing to here. Boom. Then we'll create another one. And this will be main layout. And this will pretty much will be whatever we have in our application view. So let me just copy the rest and put it there as it is. At here in the main layout, I will import main score from components, main score view. Then we're just going to do here. Okay. I think we had it. That way we can actually get rid of this. We can get rid of this and we do our main layout. Get from our components, and our components should be the add main layout view. And this should actually look the same. So let me just restart my server, npm run that. Oops. npm run that. And everything should be there. Start. There you go. Yeah. Everything is still working the way it's supposed to. Here and going back, and the score is there. Perfect. And that way, we keep our application view a little more clean. We put the main score in his own component because we'll have his own logic, and the layout just pretty much the layout view is what it's supposed to. So let's actually save those. And let's put those as, how it's called, factor a little bit. And I don't know how to type anymore. There you go. Comment and think. Cool. The other thing I would like to do, let me just an extra refactor in our home view, homepage. What I would like to do here will be to move the brand section as a title element. So what I will put here, and it will be interesting, will be just for pretty much for this section. Let's get rid of this. Let's put this to the right, this to the left. So we remove the title, that's okay. Let's create another one, main title. Well, let's actually call it base title. That's beautiful. And we will do something interesting here. So let's do template, we close it, we insert it, perfect. Then we go back to the home page. Let's actually just copy the whole style and we get rid of categories that we don't need. And that's it. And then here we can actually import base title from components from uh, components base title dot view. And then we just use the base title here. Cool. But if I would like to do the same, and it's pretty much what I want to do in our other pages, in the question, script setup, import the base title, and I will actually bring it here. We have the base title right there. I would like to have actually the text of the questions. Now the logo is not working the base title because the path just changed and this is not as supposed to be before. That's where the logo actually should be inside assets, so we can call it if we need it here. But we don't need it. I just want to change the content to this one and maintain the same structure. How can we do that and utilize the same? We can do two things. We can do the props the way that we did in the previous video, or we can do something like this. And this is a little bit more advanced. So let's do another template. Let's call this one. This is something interesting. Will be free. In this template, we will put the logo in, and we will talk about in a minute code to use it. And I'm actually messing up. Template. Okay. Templates require directive. Let me verify that. Oh, sorry. Yes, I'm messing up. Probably the hour. But what I want to do here, I want to do some slots. What are the slots itself? And let me show you that. So let me remove this that I just added. It should not be there. So I say that instead of putting this, I will put a slot here. A slot. There you go. will not render anything. But here on the base title, instead of having a self-closing, we'll do something like this. And I can actually put the content inside. So when I'm doing my wrapping, in this case, it's a base one, just a div with a class brand, and that class brand has some styling for logo and for title. But actually what I'm doing here is I just wrapping those, and instead of putting and we can actually get rid of the brand styling. We don't need this anymore. Oops. But we will need it in a minute. But for now, that's how it works. So we're sending the slot content through there. So what I want to do here is I want to have what is called named slot. Named slot is different templates that we can actually reference and utilize after the fact whenever we need it. And it will insert them where they're supposed to. So let's do a different slot. Let's do a slot name equal logo. Actually, and let's close this. And then we have the main slot there. And then I think we can repeat the same one twice. So if we actually use this logo once, that could be referenced or utilized in our application itself. So we just have the slot there. So we use the logo that will be there and the default slot. And let's actually call this, and let's keep like that, like the default one. Doesn't have a particular name. So that means two different things. That means that we can use the base title here. Put the H1 inside. Let's see. Still working because we are sending the same. But if we change this to title, actually let's do this over here. Sorry, I should be naming this different. So name equal title. And for this name equal title, what we need to do here is, let me actually send the logic where it's supposed to be. It's pretty much taking the H1, right here. Then we have the slot title. Actually, the main slot. And then we close the H1. H1. And we go to the main page. We remove this. And we just send in the actual test. And it's working. We just send in the text where it's supposed to go. This descended through the main slot that had the class title, and then the styling for the title is just appended or happened there. Let's do the same here, where we need to, I will comment this out a little bit, right? And let's just put the trivia-tastic information. Cool. And we have those there. So we just send in pretty much the text there. Now, what do we do with the other part? And that's the beauty of the name slot over here. Now that we just have the title and we just put it there, we can have the name slot for the logo twice, and we can do something about it. Before we move it, let's actually wrap it where they're supposed to go. That is pretty much the image class. And this should go something like this. Actually, this one will not work the way that I was thinking of. So, how can I send this through there? In theory, I should be able to do something like this. And it should be doing it, but let's better have a template inside. And the hashtag is the name it, the slot that we're going to want, and we want the logo. And for this one, we are sending the image itself. Okay. We're sending, we can see that the logo just get printed twice because that's the component that we're actually sending through that name slot logo. So I think the only things that we can do, we can remove the class. We don't need it here. I think what we can do is on the base title, we can do some changes on the logo itself. That will be, and I think we need to do something like this, like slot it. And slot it. And slot it, and this will be an image. It should be like through, yes. Oops, I have extra. There you go. I think that's what it's supposed to be. It didn't work. Oh, there you go. Perfect. So I have my question page and my slotted image. I'm applying the styling because I'm sending the logo. And whenever I call that, I just send a simple source without classes because the class that will be applied is the one that is in the best title logo section. Now we have a reusable title in a way. I'm probably a little bit outside of the scope of this project, but I saw the opportunity and I just did it. So let me just add it this title. And now that we have everything a little more refactored, I think we can actually continue. And what I like to do is I actually want to do let's go through the question. So one of the things that we need to do in the question is we need to import use root from the router. And here we're going to call const root equal use root. Perfect. And then we can actually call the const category ID equal root dot params because we're sending the params here, and that param should be. Oh, let me check something real quick. Okay. That param, we actually call it in a router. We call that param ID directly. So that means that the route dot params dot ID. Oops. ID. And question page 4. Let's see if we can actually see it. Category ID. And question page for 10. Yes, it's working. And this one is 20 and 20. 30 and 30. Perfect. So we are able to get the ID through this. And it is important because, and let's get back to the API. Because in order to get a question, let's do one question for any category. I don't need the difficulties right now. Generate URL. There you go. We just need to send, category, whatever, generate. We just need to send the category query parameter. And that category will be this particular ID. So through this, what we can actually do is, let's open our API and let's do a second one for, I really hate this errors message. So let's do something again. I will copy this element inside the pretty. Well, actually cut it. I will remove this file. Let's go to ESLint. When we have the pretty error, I do comma, and we paste what we cut. Right? Perfect. We just, we keep it like that. And let's keep it like that. There you go. Everything just got solved. Somehow the pre-RC was not working the way it's supposed to. Let me see if it's there. Well, most of the things got fixed. But yeah. Okay, let's open the API from the composable. What I want to do here with the API is going to be const get question in singular equal, and it's actually giving us, we need to send the difficulty. We don't need to send the difficulty. So let's actually get a question. Will be from we need the category ID. We're going to do something about this. Of course, we're going to exporter and return it, actually. And this will be asynchronous. And we will do something really similar to this, with the difference that instead of API category, we need to call API.php only. So this changed to API.php. And now we need to send the category ID as a parameter, and we need to set the amount. So those are two different parameters that we need to set. Now, we just want one question. That means that the amount should be fixed. So we can actually just do a comma, and we create another object, and we create the parameters of the params. And we just click the type amount. One, right? And we do category as category ID. So we're sending those, and we're going to receive the response. So whenever we call this, and let's actually change this to a 1, and let's change this to a general category. So whenever we call this, opening a new tab, you're going to get results query array, and with one element in there. But we can actually assume we need to return, and it will be a little bit not as clean as I was expected, but let's do response.data dot results, and we are going to send the first element, and this is return. Okay. So we are able to send that and get the question itself. This will be the question. This will be the correct answer and the incorrect answer. And we will handle that in a minute. So, get question. I think that should be it. Let's go to the questions page. And let's import it. Import use API from somehow my Visual Studio is really screw up at composables. Use API. Then how we use it, the other page in the home page. API use API. Okay. Let's initialize the API itself. Let's get the unmounted and the reference to here. Let's actually put this over here. And let's do some cleanup. So let's component will be after main one, and this should be here. Or here, actually. Yeah, maybe. Okay, cool. Let's put the API after the root, after the category ID. Let's do const question equal API dot get question, and we need to send the category ID. And we can try it to see if it actually works. And let's do a simple pre. And let's actually print the question. Oops. Question. Click here. Open this. Okay, we have the object there. That's through a promise. Yeah, probably. Oh, we need to wait. And we break something. I knew it. So let's inspect what happened there. Component anonymous set of function requires a promise, but not suspense boundary was found. Okay. That's another concept that I don't want to introduce today. The suspense. So I probably need to revamp this a little bit. So there's another way, probably the watch. Yes. Instead of a mountain, let's do the watch. What I want to do with the watch is something really, really cool. So let's look for view, watch route, right? Param. This is a little bit old, dynamic router. Let's see this one. Version 4, yes. Let's do watch. Okay. This watch. I don't like this watch. Let's do setup. Set. Okay, we use the route, we use the watch. Okay, and the watch is pretty much like the unmounted. We specify what we're looking at. And in this case, we're looking at the route params ID. And we do something about that. Cool. So let's actually use this right here. We're going to get to look at the category ID, probably. Okay, we do that. Now let's do params ID. And we're looking at that. And after we look at it, we need to execute something. And what I'm going to be doing is we need to question equal an empty object. I like it. Actually, just do the null. And then question dot value, and without the const, and without the console. Yeah, something like that should work, I think. Let's see it. Okay, question category logo SVG. Why is complaining about getting the logo if I'm not calling the logo here? Entertainment. And in theory, I should be able to get this call. Let's see what happened. So the root is undefined. The router view for a reason. The question page. Let me see. Root reactive. There you go. And let's do API get categories. Category ID is cat14. Question is null. So this one is actually not being executed. So probably that's not the correct way to do it. So let's verify here. Let's do composition API. Let's look for watch. And the watcher probably. Okay, we watch an object. And then we do something through this. Okay, so let's actually not have a call. Let's actually watch the category ID. We are not able to make the call. But I always remove the watch itself. Just call the question value through this. Now this is where we have the suspend element, yes. Let's watch this. And that's not the way. So let me research a little bit and then get back to you. Okay, yes, I'm overcomplicating things. So it wasn't the good cow. So actually, it should be unmounted. We don't need the category ID. We don't need to get it somewhere. It's already there. So what we can actually do is, instead of on watch, is unmounted. And it will call an asynchronous function that will do something. And should get the route.params.id. And this actually should be question.value. So we're telling it the question is reference null by default, and then the question value will be changed unmounted, making a call, sending the ID from the root, pretty much. So we go to general knowledge. A general knowledge question pop up with the correct answer and incorrect one. Let's get back. Let's get entertainment film. And that one is there. Yeah. Let's get back. Let's go to science and gadget. There you go, science and gadget. Perfect. So the call is working. What we need to do is we need to format the question in a way. So let's actually get here. We have the category. We have the question and we have the answers. So let's repopulate this, and probably the best title will be question.question. Question.question. And that actually should be, I think, right here. Yes. Question. That's the object, how we call it. But then there is a question element inside. So yeah, inception here. Question. Okay. We have it there. Probably we can actually handle the category. Determine film. Perfect. Then let's do a paragraph. Let's do question. Okay, I like it. As you can see, we have a little bit issue with encoding, and probably we need to verify that later. But let's just continue to try to get the information. And let's do class equal question. Let's do the style, language, plus CSS, scope, let's do dot question. Let's apply something. And let's do text to Excel. Let's see what my computer suggested me. Font bold, not sure about that. Let's see it. Text center. Something didn't like it. Why didn't like it? Okay, there's a major error. Can access property question. Okay. Okay. So let's do a simple empty div. And will be only be if there is a question. The moment that we initially had a null at the beginning. So we can do something like this. And if nothing, then we can actually find it. Cool. Refresh. Perfect. Lemon fill. Yeah. Cool. So you saw that it actually took a while because it's actually making the call asynchronous. Here is where we can actually play a little bit with other elements. So let's comment this out. And by default, the question is not there. So we can actually do something like another div, BLs, and we can actually do something like loading. So we can actually, let's uncomment this, and we'll go to mythology, loading, boom. And then let's go to geography, loading, boom. We have a little loading state there until the question get rendered, and we can actually see it, right? Nice. And we have an issue with our spacing. Let me get back to probably the card. No, was on the layout. Overflow auto. Can we do overflow fit? No. What we have? It should be auto. Well, what happens when there is a big text there? Okay. Well, we can verify that later. So let's continue with the question itself. And let's do the class here. Question container. And we can actually call this right here. Dot question container. Let's go add apply, do flex call, item center, and a gap of 8. Perfect. And let's send the question up with the add element there. Cool. We have the title, we have the question, and what I would like to have here is a really big answer button. When it's true or false, we just need 2. And the other one should be a little bit bigger. So let's actually have this question value there. And let's do cons answers equal reference null. Let's do null too. And after we have the question value, we can do let's build the answer value. Actually, let's make the answer. Let's actually make it an array, and let's do answers that value 0 would be equal to question. And let's actually build that. Will be correct, will be true, and answer will be question.value.correct and is correct underscore answer. That's the element that we need to see it. Perfect. And I have this extra word here that should not be. Oops. Well, now it's complaining. Oh, I'm missing this? Yes. Okay. So we get as value 0 the correct answer. Or let's actually, how can we do it? Then for every, actually that's what I need. Question.value. We have incorrect answer when it's multiple, we have 3 in the array. When it's just true or false, we have 1. That's how the API works. So because we actually do not know how they are, we can actually just do something like for every question value dot incorrect answers, we can do simple for each, or simple map. Let's do a simple map. And we'll do, we'll send the answer. We'll do something about that particular answer. Do and actually, yes, instead of doing value should be push. Push that. So we push the correct answer, and then let's push the other one. Answer value push, correct false, and answer element that we just put in there. And then because it's a simple array, we can do something like this. And it should be enough. So now we can actually, we should be able to print the answer. Correct, there you go. And the 3 false are there. Now that we have that element, I think we can actually get rid of the whole object. We don't need to see it anymore. And we need to handle the answers a little bit better. So let's do div. And let's class answers. I like it. And here, let's do another div. Yes. Why not? I'll do for before. And let's look through the answer itself. Answer in answers in plural, where my key. And that's actually because there's no an ID there. Answer dot value dot length. There's a really simple ID there. So answer in answer, where the key will be in my just created answer ID. We're going to print the answer in singular. The answer. Oh, I didn't think this through. Okay, answer. There you go. So we have now the 4 different elements. Now we need to style it a little bit. What we can actually do is we have the questions, and then we can have an dot answers. And if you're thinking the way I'm thinking is apply read calls to cap 8. And then will be this for this element, and then this will be class in singular answer. Will be an dot answer apply. So with full. Actually, let's go back because the question container is a flex. We can actually do flex row here. Flex row. They will take the whole element. Let me just verify it's actually work. So with that flex row, probably we need to do some kind of. So the question container should be a flex column. But I want to do this now. In theory should row 1. Oh, probably my container should be h full. I take the whole element, yes. So the container need to tell them take the whole space. So when this one actually grow, it actually took the space. Perfect. My answer will be white. Let's do flex items center UC5 center. Width should be full. No, okay, my answer element should be width full. There you go. So we can delete this one. Yes. Perfect. Let's remove the background from the answers in plural. Let's put the background here. Background red 500. Let's do rounded. LG. Let's do text white. Yeah. Probably. What else we can do? Text for Excel. Maybe. So we have that. Let's take on science. Yeah, I think it's actually working. The true false, I like it. So let me do another element here. That will be just a simple. Something also really cool. So I have the elements where they're supposed to be. Let me go to my base title. And let's do the title to be text center. There you go. But here, what I want to do is I want to have like a different color depending which one it is. But I want to use, how can I explain this? And the same color always in the same place. So like a little bit like green, blue, red, yellow. I don't know, something like that. Like the same color always and always in the same place. So how can we achieve that? So let's do in our let's create a new composable. It will be really simple. Let's call it this use color JavaScript. And we don't need that much. So let's do const use colors equal and let's do export default use color. And let's do const colors equal a simple array. And that array will be, let's do background green 500. Then two, oops, Apple setting. Let's do 2, 3, and 4. And let's do red, blue, and yellow. Rolling and const get color. And probably this a little bit more. Let's do index. And we just need to return the color if we need to protect it a little bit. And let's just do straightforward. Just the color index. Really like this one. Over the mod of the color between the index and the mod of the length. I like it. I mean, if we request, we have 4 colors. Actually, let's do it. It's actually really cool. So what I'm doing here is we're actually making, if we have 4 colors and we send number 3, for example, the index 3 should be the yellow one. So will be mod 4 will restore the 3, so that's okay. But if it's something like 6 over the color length, that is 4. So we'll return in 2. That means he will get the second number there. It's pretty neat. Nice. I actually like it. And let's just do a simple return. Get color. We can do something like this. Yeah, maybe. That's simple. And probably it's not the best way, more likely. Yeah, it is not. But it is simple enough for today. And let's go to the main question. Let's do import, use color from add possibles, use colors. And it's actually called use color in singular, not plural. And composable is like this. I think the route, we're not using it anywhere. Yes, sorry. Yes, one place. Which one are we not using? No, we're using everything. Okay. Now we can actually do something like cons colors equal use color. And what I want to do now, I want to use that in my TSS. So we can actually combine that. So let's do view bind variable to CSS. So we can actually do it. And this is not the element that I was looking for here with bind. So what it's telling us, let me see here with style, we can actually use the bind element with the styles colors when we actually pull it up. So in theory, we should make this to actually apply. How can we do that? Let me verify something really quick. Probably, let's not complicate this thing often. So let's remove the background. Yeah, so we still there about this have the text white. And we can actually apply a custom class in the adverb element itself, where we can tell them class equal, it should be colors dot get color, and we should be sending the answer dot ID. The ID is like the one that belongs to the color, and there you go. Look at that. Because the ID starts with 0, 1, 2, and 3, so we are pretty much getting that particular color through there. So we can bind that in a dynamic class, and we just applying that one in particular there. So let's do text center. There you go. And now we have the questions there. Now, we know that always the first one is the correct one. But we will get to that in a while. So let's, how long is the video? It's over an hour now. Yeah, it has been becoming a really big video. So get a category, and we get the different elements there. Nice. Let me see if something small like this we can actually make a little bit bigger. Can we do with full? No. In. No. Let me look here. Min. Be 1.5. No. How can I actually make those a little bit bigger? Not sure. Why it's not doing what it's supposed to? When my answer should be, let's do this one, background black. So that's just the size. That looks like Simon Says game. Simon game. Oh, I have an idea for the future. Well, I can see that later. Sorry. Let me see what is happening there. How can we troubleshoot that? We're doing this over here and not working. Oh, with full. There you go. The parent container was not full, and then the AdWord was not full. Can we remove this? Yeah, it should be there. Perfect. And let's get the black background. Okay, I think we just had it. Science and math. Yeah, I like it. Loading. The loading, probably we can do something really quickly here. Class loading. We can do let's remove the BLs for now. Let's comment it out, the question. We maintain that there. Let's do a simple loading. And let's do add apply. Let's do black. Justify center. Let's see if that actually works. Item. Center. Edge full. White full. Yeah. Text. 7 Excel. Yeah, and probably we just can add the little loading state here. Okay. Yeah, I like a little bit better. We can do probably some animations there and things like that, but we don't have the time. Let's just continue working this. Perfect. So clear, loading, boom. Loading. Wow. Boom. There you go. Nice. So I will stop the video for now. Probably we need to handle a little bit of encoding, but we will see that later. For now, I think we just have enough. Let me just comment this out. I probably should be doing this a little bit sooner. Added questions. We will finish the score logic in the next video. So I was not planning to do 3 videos, but well, it is what it is. I really hope that you like it. Any question or any doubt, don't hesitate to reach me. Happy coding, everybody.